Hello. Hello, hello. Is anybody there? So apparently I am live. Is this true? Oh, look at that. I am. Oh. Hello. Anybody there? Hi, Christina. How are you? I need to put on my glasses so I can read my screen. Oh, I remember your last name, Honeycut. You're from Alabama? Is that right? If I remember, my memory is really bad. So if I have that wrong, I'm sorry. I'm very good, thank you. I'm testing some new software. I'm testing this software called StreamYard. It allows me, hello, oh boy, I can't read Russian. That's how I read Russian. I'm sorry. You're going to have to tell me your name in English. Hello, Oceans of Stars. It's going good. Thank you. How's everything going over there? Check it out. So I'm testing this new software. And look, I can do this. Wait, I'm going to get rid of my... How do I get rid of my... How's it go? Oh, no. Look at that. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oceans of Stars. So it says the person who's made the comment and then what they said. Hello, how's it going? See, I can show anybody's comment. Great memory, yes. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. So this is my first time trying the software. So if I mess up, bear with me. So where's everybody from? I know where Christina's from. Somewhere in Alabama. I forget the city. Do I even know any cities in Alabama? I must. But I can't think of one. So, how can I read this name in English? Victoria, hello. Okay, now I know how to read Victoria. No, I don't. I can't remember that. So how does this work? The Victoria. Is that what looks like a B-M-E-C-T-E? And that's pronounced Victoria? Hello, Ali. From Syria, nice to meet you. Thanks for joining. Oh, I don't mean nice to meet you. We've already met. You've been on other live streams. Yeah, it's sad that there's war going on. It's war, what is it good for? There's a song about that. Oceans of Stars. You're in Canada. Where in Canada are you? I guess studying in Canada makes learning English very easy, right? Not very easy, but much easier, because every time you go outside, you have signs written in English. So everything you see is English study, right? You learn from your environment much more easily. Christopher, hola. Hola in Mexico. Oh, cool. NASA is in Alabama. I had no idea. I thought NASA was in Houston. Houston, we have a problem. That's cool. Thank you, Oceans of Stars, for saying that my videos are great. I'm going to show this. Look at that. My videos are great. Thank you. That's so nice. I like hearing compliments. Everybody likes hearing compliments. Oh, cool. So, Victoria, you have a channel about investing. Wait, Christopher Sanchez is in New Mexico, not Mexico. Hang on. Who said they're from Mexico? Somebody said they're from Mexico. Or maybe, oh, I misread that. New Mexico, not Mexico. So, Victoria, you have a channel about investing. I guess this is my channel about investing. It's called Investing Together. Cool. So, do you have Tesla? Like oh, you're in Markham, Oceans of Stars. Markham, very close to Toronto. A lot of Chinese people in Markham. It's like the second Chinatown. When I was a kid in Toronto, you had Chinatown. And then like Chinatown downtown, near downtown. I forget the name, like near Spadina, if that's correct. And then a lot of Chinese people were moving to Markham. And Markham became like the second Chinatown in Toronto, right? Ali, no habla español. Lo siento, no comprende. Like, I know I'm speaking Spanish, but that's everything I know. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I can count to, I don't know, 30 or 40 or something like that. But that's it. I can't speak it. I only know a few words. I've always wanted to learn Spanish. Always. Ever since I went to Mexico as a young man. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I figured Houston and Florida. Never heard of NASA being in Alabama. That's cool. Huntsville. We have a Huntsville in Canada. Never been there, but I know there's a Huntsville. I wonder how they came up with the name Huntsville. Maybe a lot of people hunt. My sense of humor has not warmed up yet. It's still morning here. It's 11:50 a.m. and my brain is still revving up for the day, even though I've been awake for, how long have I been awake now? 4 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. The Red Sox didn't win the MLB game. Oh, really? I don't know. I don't follow baseball, but I guess baseball season is starting over there now, I suppose. I guess so. It's end of April, so. Well, thank you. My Spanish is not great. Not great. Oh no, Victoria, you sold Tesla. You know what? I made the same mistake. I bought Tesla last year when the market crashed, and I bought it at $400 pre-split. So today that would be $80 on the chart. Of course, I look at the price now and I'm like, why did I sell? Because I think I sold it when it was at about 1,200 before the split. I forgot now. Yeah, Tesla. That's the question about that one. Is it going to go down again? Because Tesla has such a strong following that the price may never come down. John Hunt. Who's John Hunt? I don't know. Maybe. So what is everybody doing right now? Okay, so I know that Christina must be about midnight where you are, right? Or 1 a.m. maybe? Why are you up so late? And Victoria, where are you from, Victoria? I mean, where are you now? In what city in Russia? What time is it there? What time is it in Syria, Ali? What do you think of this software, by the way, that I'm using, where I can show the, where's my finger? There, where I can show the comments from people. Is that cool? Is that, does that make things better or not? Oh, I see what you mean, Christina. John Hunt founded Huntsville. Really? Isn't that interesting? Is that true? So I wonder then, what about all the other Huntsvilles? Maybe John went around, maybe he left, maybe he went to one town. He says, I declare this Huntsville. And then he's like, okay, my work is done. I'm going to go declare more Huntsvilles. I don't know. Ooh, happy vacation. Nice. Are you just hanging around at home for vacation, or are you going to go anywhere? I guess, I don't know. What's the situation where you live with the lockdowns and stuff? Are you allowed to travel? So it's 7:53 in, well, 7:55 now in Syria. Early morning, breakfast time. Yes, be careful with Tesla. I do feel that the following for Tesla is so strong, so big, that it will go back up at some point. But when? That's the question. It's in a pullback now. It dropped quite a bit. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, should I buy just a little bit? Just a little bit. And then if it goes up, then I make a bit of money. And if it goes down, I buy more. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Missouri. That's how I grew up saying that, Missouri. And then I found out that people actually say Missouri. No, misery, like misery. Like it's pronounced like misery, Misery. Right? Is that true? I don't know. What's the correct pronunciation? Misery. So you can travel. Okay, that's cool. I know the COVID situation is completely out of control in the United States, so no mask wearing, eh? How about you, Christina? Do you wear a mask usually? Missouri, Missouri or Missouri? Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, uh, I always pronounced it Missouri, Missouri. And then I heard some Americans say misery. So I really don't know which one's the correct, like which one the locals use. Yeah, there's a lot of anti-maskers in the United States. And I find it interesting because you don't, well, outside of Western countries, mainly, I mean, the US is the worst one for that. But, and I know that there's anti-maskers everywhere to some extent, but it's mainly the United States and Western countries. Like every time I see anything about anti-mask, not protests, but just an anti-mask sentiment being fairly widespread, it's usually in Western countries like the US or Australia or the UK. Sorry, I mean to say English-speaking countries, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know why. I wonder why that's such a big thing. In other countries, I mean, here in Vietnam, we have very little COVID. I mean, we've had, of course, a few cases, but every time there's just a handful of cases, government issues warnings and restrictions in those areas, and it really doesn't have a chance to spread. They're really, really, good about getting on top of it right away. And from what I can tell, at those times, people cooperate. Everybody wears a mask everywhere. Then, once the situation is under control, I go outside now and most people are not wearing a mask. Some people do. Typically, I carry mine with me everywhere I go. And if I go into a store, I mean, sometimes I'm a little bit lazy about it. And I'm not the only one. Like, there's a lot of people who, so it's easy just to get complacent. It's easy to just forget, just how dangerous things can be. But right now, because things are under control, or seemingly so, a lot of people don't wear masks. I'll usually carry mine, and if I go into a store, I will often just reach in my pocket and then put it on. And yeah, I mean, if you're outside walking around, I don't typically have people near me, so I'm not going to wear a mask outside when I'm not near anybody. That's not, I don't believe for 1 minute that COVID spreads easily that way at all. So, if I go inside to a shop or somewhere where the air is contained, then I'm a lot more likely to wear my mask. Abdullah, hello, welcome to the stream. Yes, good morning. Good morning. For me here, it's just become good afternoon. It's 12:02 p.m. here in Vietnam, Da Nang, Vietnam. Yes, good strategy. Buy a little part when it's down. I'm waiting with Tesla down more, and when I will buy, but maximum 5% for my investment money. I don't know how to call it. Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is, so I'm not going to try to correct you. But I understand what you mean. 5% of your investable income, or no, not income, 5% of your capital, perhaps. So yeah, I mean, of course, you never want to put too much money into one company, even if it's the best company in the world. You never know what's going to happen. So who knows? You know, if something happens to Elon Musk, I imagine Tesla stock would dive very quickly. I hope nothing happens to him, but yeah, that's a good, yeah, just buy a little bit and buy a little bit more if it goes down more. I agree with this, Christina. A lot of conspiracy theorists lately. It's crazy just how much of this is going on in the past 4 years or so, especially. I mean, you know, conspiracy theories have always been a thing, but in the past few years, it's just blown up completely. And I think media is responsible for a lot of this. The media, you know, controls what you hear and how you hear it. So I don't trust media. I don't really, I mean, I think some media is more trustworthy than others, but they all have issues, really. They're not equivalent, I don't think. You know, I don't want to say, oh, they're all equally bad. No, they're not equally bad, but they're all bad. They're all bad. They all, yeah, a lot of misinformation or misleading information, or it's really depressing. It's really depressing. It's very hard to get to the real truth and get the full context. And I see this happening again. I personally don't feel that everything is equally bad. I think some are very bad. Some of them just seem to lie outright, just complete lies. And then when people call them on those lies, they're like, you know, 5-second retraction or correction. But of course, everybody's already heard the lies, so they believe them. So it's not very good. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of misinformation on both I would say on all sides. It's not just two sides necessarily, but on all sides there seems to be, you know, even when I see something that I agree with, and I'm like, oh, that's terrible, you know, and I agree with whoever's sharing it, but then I catch myself and I think, I wonder if this is the complete context. And sometimes I find out, oh no, you know, it's not the complete context. And I realize, oh, I have to change my opinion here. This is not what I thought it was, which is too bad, because I thought that the conclusion was pretty clear based on what I saw. So yeah, it's always important to get the full context of something. Abdullah, you're in Germany. Oh yeah, I think I remember. You were online once before, right? On one of my live. My memory is not great, so if I forget who was online before, but I think I remember. I remember Abdullah in Germany, if my memory is not mistaken. Victoria, you said you're in Krasnodar? Is that the right print? I'm gonna check that. Where is Krasnodar? On Google Maps. I'm gonna check that. It is. I'm not on Google Maps, I'm on Google Earth. So now I'm looking at a big globe. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow, okay. So you are Krasnodar, that's on the west side, south of Moscow, or Moscow. Is it Moscow or is it Moscow? Moscow? Moscova? Is that right? Moscova? No, I don't. My pronunciation. Besides English, I can't pronounce anything properly. Don't take my word for anything. English, you can trust me. Not English? It's iffy. It's iffy. So Krasnodar, I can see on the map, is, if I can just locate it properly on my screen here. Yeah, it's on the west side. Kind of like, looks like Ukraine. Ukraine is like the east side of Ukraine, kind of juts into Russia, and then you've got Moscow, and then you go down, and then there's a little bit of Ukraine, and then below Ukraine, you've got Krasnodar, near the Black Sea. So now I learned a little bit of geography. I agree with this 100%. 100%. There's absolutely no, I can't think of one single network or outlet that is really, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, well, I think integrity is a good one. That has not lost its integrity, and you know, one that really truly seeks the truth and to tell the truth and all relevant aspects of that truth. They're always, incomplete stories. They're leaving. They want to push an agenda, and or they just want, you know, viewers. So they say and spin stories so that they're, you know, maximally controversial. It's horrible. It's horrible. I can't trust anything anymore. And it sucks because you want to be informed. You want to, you know, find out what's happening, and you can't trust it. It's hard to trust any of it, really. Unless you go out and seek out the full context. And it's tiring. It's really tiring to try to stay on top of everything. Jeffrey, good night. Sleep well. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. What has been a while, Abdullah? Since you were online, you mean? Only a few days, right? Maybe a week? I don't remember. Hello. I don't know how to pronounce this. Serge Bondaz? Serge Bond Jazz. Hello, how are you? Have a nice day. Thank you very much. You too. Astrakhan, where is that? I've never heard that one before. Astra? Oh, that's in Russia too. I have a few Russian viewers. Cool, cool, cool. I say spasiba. Thank you. Spasiba. Is that correct, my pronunciation? Okay, so Astrakhan is not so far from, I mean, it's not nearby. It's not what I mean. Don't get me wrong, but it's not so far from Krasnodar. So for some of my viewers right now, it's late at night if you're in North or South America. And if you're in Europe, it's early morning. And for me, it's just afternoon. Just a moment, I need a little bit more ice. I shall be back. I shall be right back. See, I like a lot of ice. I get a lot of water every day. This is how I get my water. I probably drink 2 liters of water just in ice. And by using so much ice, I reduce my Coke intake. See? Smart, right? Reduce your Coke, just increase your ice. I love older style journalism. It's just sensationalism. Yes, absolutely. 100% agree. 100%. I agree totally. I have nothing to add. You said everything that I feel right there. Latakia. Let's have a look. Today I'm having a geography lesson from you guys. You're helping me learn about geography of the world here. Latakia. Wow, you're okay. So yeah, you're. Oh my God. Okay. So you know what? In my head, I was thinking Syria was somewhere else. Okay. So wow, you're right on the Mediterranean, on the east side. Ali, is Syria a dangerous country to visit, or no? Like if I were after coronavirus, if I wanted to travel to Syria, is that like a stupid idea, or is it fairly safe to travel for tourists? So Latakia, I wonder, can I show? It'd be kind of cool if I could do like a screen capture. I don't think I can though. Can I show an image? I don't believe I can. What is this? What is this? I don't know what that is. Hang on. I'm clicking buttons on this new software. I'm trying to. So I can show comments on the screen. I can create text banners, but I have no way to show like Google Maps. Like I'm looking at Google Maps and I wanted to show it to you, but I can't. I don't know how to do that. I need to I'd like to do live streams where I can do that, but the software that I'm using right now, actually kind of cool. So I can show these, you can see right, right there, you can see the little comment on screen. So I can show people's comments, or I can create banners myself, like this one. I can just do that. I can show that, right? Hi, everyone. Or I can even, hang on, how do I do this? Oh, yeah, I can do this. Look at that. I can have it scroll across the screen. Isn't that cool? And then I can go back to the comments and I can look at that. So I can have something scroll. Sorry, I'm like a kid in a candy store finding, new features to play with. The other thing I can do, this software allows me to have a live conversation with someone, and I can put you on the screen with me. So if you're interested in trying out, just testing this feature with me, let me know, and then I can send you a link, and then you use that link on your phone or on your computer. You just click it, and then you come on, and I can put you with me on the screen, and we can talk. So is anybody interested in trying? Is anybody brave enough to test that with me? If you are, let me know. Oh, okay, a couple of years ago. All right. Sorry, there was somebody recently, and I guess maybe my memory's not great. I can't remember things very well. So you're waiting for me, but you didn't tell me if it's dangerous for me. I want to know, am I going to get kidnapped, or am I going to be killed because I'm in the wrong place and I got very unlucky? I mean, I know that, as you said, right, there's war zones, so, but surely that's not the entire country. There must be some safe areas to go to. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I think you're talking about my Coke and ice, right? Right? There's a solution to everything. Okay, so there you go. So some places are peaceful and safe, right? That's what I thought. But it's hard to, as a traveler, it's not easy to always get accurate information because, like countries will issue, travel warnings or travel advisories, and they'll say, oh, it's dangerous, but really, they don't tell you that it's only in certain areas and that the rest of the country is fine, etc. So it's good to hear from someone who is there and who actually knows exactly what's going on. Latakia Double Tea. Wait, you have a Latakia with 1 T and you have Latakia with 2 T's? Oh, that's crazy. How do you not get confused? Is the pronunciation different? Is it like Latakia and Latakia or something? So you have 2 T's and 1 T. It's the same place. Hang on. Google Maps gave me the same place, basically. Only 1 T. Yeah, is this how it should be? Because I entered 2 T's, but then Google changes it to 1 T. So thank you, Serge. Is it? I'm just going to call you Serge because I'm not sure. I don't think Serge Bon Jazz is your real name, right? So I'm going to guess Serge. Okay, that's my thinking skills at work. Share screen. Abdullah, you know this software. Thank you for your help. Hang on. So, oh, I can, there you go. Okay. Oh, thank you. All right, let's try this. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. I have 2 monitors. Okay, screen sharing works best on a good computer. I have an okay computer. I hate my computer, but it's an okay computer. And some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox on the next window. Okay, don't share these tips again. All right, share screen. There we go. Wow. Abdullah, thank you. That's wonderful. Check it out. Okay, so there, people. Ha! Look at that. Abdullah, you are fantastic. Thank you. You got it. So this is where Latakia is in Syria. So if I zoom out, here is Syria. And so Ali is near the Mediterranean. Now that must be nice, right? Do you ever go there to swim? Why does it show me the National Museum? I don't know. But anyway, so this is Latakia. Huh. Interesting. Look at that. Oh, very cool. So that's the share screen icon. I wasn't sure. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Right on. And then I can switch between these. Look at that. Oh, how cool. Oh, I can do that too. Or I could just share. Oh, right on. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Okay, folks. Thank you, Christina. Little pat on the back there. Another pop-up will appear. Abdullah, you're fantastic. Thank you. I just started using the software for the first time. So I wasn't sure. I saw these icons and I thought maybe they have something to do with screen sharing, but I clicked on them and they didn't do anything. because I hadn't actually shared the screen first. So, so I just learned something new. Well, this is fantastical. This is great. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that, Ali. I'll have to do some research to make sure that I go to the right places, don't go to the wrong places by accident, by mistake. Oh, no worries, no worries. So I'm curious, is it the same thing with two different spellings and both spellings are acceptable? Or is there any difference at all between two T's and one T? Does it really matter or doesn't matter at all? My knowledge of geography is really pathetic. I mean, I have a pretty decent, grasp of Southeast Asia because I lived in Japan for a long time and I've done some traveling around. So I can see, I've got a bunch of these pins. I wonder if I can get rid of those. Yeah, it's a pain. I'll just leave them. But I have a decent mental representation of Southeast Asia and where everything is. But when it comes to Europe or the Middle East, I have no idea where anything is in relation to other things. Africa, I don't know. Europe, I mean, the only thing, like with Europe, if you gave me a blank map, I could probably point out a few countries like Portugal, Spain, France, England, excuse me. Norway, Sweden, and Finland, I always kind of confuse. I could probably, yeah, I could have picked Germany and Czechia and Slovakia. And the reason I could do that is because I have a friend who came from there and he went back there. So I kind of have an idea of where that is on the map. For Africa, I can pick out Egypt and South Africa, everything else, and Madagascar. But the rest, I mean, if you gave me a blank map, I don't think I would do very well on that test. Saudi Arabia, that one's an easy one to remember. Yeah, so anyway. Fuat, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. How are you? Where are you? I'm gonna try, how do you pronounce your last name? Adiguzel, Adiguzel? Adiguzel? I don't know where the stress goes. Is it Adiguzel, Adiguzel, Adiguzel? I don't know. This morning, I woke up early. By the way, do you guys know, I'm going to change my banner here just a moment. Do you know, wait, I have to edit this. Check out my other YouTube channel. Chile. I wonder, I'll just do that and then save that and show it. Boom, there you go. Oh, maybe I should, hang on, I should. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just leave that. Yeah. Do you guys know that I have that other channel? I think some people know, but not everybody knows. Oh, so Fuat, you're from Turkey. Okay. So Turkey is just north of Syria. What city are you from, Fuat? Where in Turkey? Thanks for joining, Christina. Good night. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Izmir. Let's find out where Izmir is. Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. On the west coast. Oh, so you're right near the water. Do you have any beaches near your home? Or I guess a more natural way to ask that would be, do you live near a beach? I would love to. I'd love to go to Turkey and eat the kebabs. I keep hearing Turkish kebab, right? Every time I travel somewhere, there's always like a Turkish restaurant and they always have kebabs. So I would love to go and eat some Turkish kebabs. Oh, and the belly dancing, right? That's in Turkey, if I remember. That's a Turkish thing, right? Or is it not only Turkey, but other countries too? I'm not sure. Got to go see some belly dancing. Let me go back up here. I skipped over a couple of comments to get to Christina's good night. Really? So I guess Turkey and Syria are not politically harmonious. You know, it's funny. Every time a lot of governments don't really, get along, but the people from those countries often have no issue with the other people. It's like, everybody is human. Everybody is very similar and everybody wants the same thing in life. And it's always interesting how, well, not interesting in a good way, really, but it's always interesting how governments often are fighting, but the citizens have no problem with each other. And that's a good thing. I mean, nice use of the word forte. Very good. Yep. Someday I would love to. Absolutely. After coronavirus is finished, if it ever finishes, I hope it does. Then I really would love to go and visit so many countries. I mean, so many places in Europe that I'd like to go to. I've only ever been to France. Let me take off my glasses for a minute. These glasses are for reading, but they tire my eyes if I keep them on too long. But I would love to go to, I've only been to France. That was, when was that? 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago, I went to France. I went to Paris. Only Paris, actually. I wanted to go to Italy, but I didn't have the time and the money, so didn't go to Italy. But there are so many countries that I would love to go to. I'd love to go to Europe, Middle East, Africa, India, South America. I mean, so many places that I haven't been to yet. And I'd love to just travel for the rest of my life. Just travel to a new place, make some videos there, travel to another place, make some videos there, travel to a new, you know what would be also really cool? I'd love to meet my viewers sometimes, have a coffee, speak some English. Be kind of cool. I'd like to go around, and meet my viewers around the world. That would be very cool. Yeah, Ali, that is so true. It's really too bad that people are, what's the word I want to use here? Governments create conflict between countries, and sometimes that does affect the people. Most people don't let that bother them. It doesn't, I should say, most people don't make, the political strife a thing between citizens, but sometimes it happens, and that's unfortunate. It's too bad because, I've done a bit of traveling in my life. I've been traveling a lot. I haven't been to that many places, really. I've only been to a handful of countries, but I go back to the same countries, multiple times. I've been to many countries in Southeast Asia. I've been to Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. Let me bring the map back to remember. I've been to Taiwan. I've been to China. I've been to, well, of course, I'm in Vietnam. So what did I say? I said Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan, China. And I think I've been to each place, multiple times. And the main reason for that is because having lived in Japan for so long, it's a lot cheaper and easier to travel to nearby countries, right? Going to Europe, Middle East, Africa, South America, those are long, expensive trips that take a long time. So I have only been to Taiwan once, and I cannot wait to go back. I did not spend enough time there. I was only there for 1 week, and I'm not a 1 week traveler kind of person. I like to spend weeks or even longer in a place. I think that's the best way to get to know, meet some people, eat the food. To me, that's what traveling is. Sightseeing is third place. Sightseeing is fun. It's cool. I love to see wonderful, cool, interesting, beautiful places. That is absolutely true. But for me, traveling is more about the food. I love trying new foods and discovering great food and meeting the people. I think so. Obviously, if I can, and if I can meet some people and talk to some people, then that's probably, number one. Food and meeting people are both number one for me. And then number two is sightseeing, going to see some cool places. And of course, that's great. I think all three. I guess all three are equal, number one for me. So why did I start talking about that? Anyway, yeah, so, Taiwan. Man, there's so much good food. People are super friendly. I mean, people have been friendly everywhere that I've been so far. Seriously, everywhere. So in the Philippines, people are super friendly. In Indonesia, when I went to Jakarta, which is a huge, sprawling city, I was shocked at how friendly people were. I was really like surprised. I was like, wow, I did not expect this in a big city. In the Philippines, in Manila, it's a big city, right? If you get out of Manila, I mean, in Manila, I'm not saying people are unfriendly, they're not, but I just mean, people in the big city are busy, they have their lives, and you don't go up to strangers and act too friendly, because a lot of people will think, oh, move away. So it's I think it's typical, some people are friendly, yes, but in Jakarta, I thought, wow, like I didn't expect this from a big city. When I was in Cebu in the Philippines, people were a lot friendlier than in Manila. And like I've been to a lot of big cities, and yes, there's all kinds of people, but generally speaking, people are busy, they have things to do, they have places to go, they have people to see, and people don't really have the time to be friendly to everyone. And also, in the city is a bigger place. It's people are a little bit on guard more than in smaller cities. So in the Philippines, when you go to Cebu, or when you go to Dumaguete, or any small town, smaller city, not a big huge metropolis, people tend to be more friendly. And this is not just the Philippines, this is every country usually. But what was interesting was in Indonesia, I found in Jakarta, people were as friendly in the big city as people are usually in the smaller cities in other countries. So that was very surprising and very cool. So I thought Indonesia was really great. Interestingly, Bali is very nice, but depending on where you are in Bali, like there's a place in Bali called Kuta, which is where all the activity is, I guess. Like that's where like the bars and the clubs and stuff like that are. And I don't want to say that people are unfriendly, because I met some very nice, very friendly people there too. The problem with Kuta is so many people trying to sell stuff to you. You can't get any peace for even 10 seconds. Like you're walking down the street and you got one guy asking you if you want a taxi, and then you say no, and 2 seconds later you got another guy asking you if you want if you want a girl, if you want drugs, if you want, like, it's like, no, do you want a massage, do you want this, do you want that? And it's like, no, just like, I would like to be able to take a walk for 5 minutes and not be interrupted. And it's very difficult. So if you go to Bali, be prepared for that. If you're walking in the main area of Kuta, you will get hassled a lot. And I try not to let that bother me, because people are trying to make a living, and okay, I understand. But at the same time, if you're being like literally, I remember it was kind of funny. Literally, and I'm using the word literally. I had many occasions where one person would say, you know, do you need a taxi or whatever? Do you want a massage or whatever? And I would say, no, thank you. And before I could finish saying no, thank you, another guy 2 feet further would say, do you want to, like the same question? I'm like, I just said no to this person and you heard me because you're right next to him. So no. But that's only a small area. If you don't stay in that small area in Kuta, then it's a lot more relaxed and it's a lot more pleasant. And then I didn't really travel around I want to go back to see more of the remote areas on the island. I would love to do that someday. Anyway, so every country I've been to, you know, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, people super friendly there. Like, it's so easy to meet friendly people when you're traveling. I don't know if this is, you know, specific to Southeast Asia. I thought the people in literally everywhere, Vietnam, I walk down the street and almost every day, if I'm out for a walk, I will have complete strangers smile and say hello to me. It's awesome. Taiwan, people were great. I was in a big city, so again, you know, it's not quite the same as a small town, but people were generally quite friendly. You know, I think in a big city, people are less likely to talk to you first. But if you have a friendly, you know, attitude and you smile easily, then they are very quick to have a conversation and to smile and be nice back. And this is everywhere I've been. Everywhere I've been, I've had the same experience. People are generally very friendly and kind and easy to talk to. People are great. So I don't know why I started talking about that, but I do remember saying I would love to travel to other areas of the world because I've seen a lot of Southeast Asia and it's easy to travel around here because I lived in Japan, so it's cheaper, it's easier, it's faster. But after coronavirus lifts, is solved, is cured, goes away, I would love to go see the rest of the world, and that's a lot of countries. Abdullah, well, everybody talked about his hometown. I didn't say where I live. I live in Augsburg. I was born and grew up here. My parents are also from Turkey. Oh, Malatya, famous for apricots. Cool. All right, I got to find out where are these places. This is my geography lesson for today. Let me do a share screen, which Abdullah taught me how to do. So Augsburg. Augsburg. Where's Augsburg on the map? It's funny, like I see Honstetten and, oh, there it is, Augsburg. Gugingen. All right, so where is this in relation to everything else? Okay, so not too far from Munich. So you were born and grew up in Augsburg, but your parents are from Turkey. Cool. So do you speak, what's the language that people speak in Turkey? Is it Turkish? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm ignorant about languages in that area of the world. So you obviously speak German as a native speaker, but do you also speak the language your parents speak? And I'm going to go check where is Malatya. or Malatya. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bear with me. Malatya. Malatya, Turkey. Where is this? Ah, I'm learning some geography today. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Kind of in the middle of the country, pretty central, Malatya. I see some lakes nearby. That's awesome. I love that I can use this to talk to people around the world. You know, when I do videos, of course, I love to receive comments and to be able to interact, but this is very cool to be able to interact in real time. Maybe someday somebody will do a live chat on this with me. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I could do like a little interview or something like that. Fouet, you visited many countries. Which one is the best for you and why? You know what? Honestly, I've thought about that. And I can't really think of a best. I think it depends what you want from your visit, right? Do you want to go there for 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months, or 2 or 3 years? It really, I mean, are you going there to visit a few places, right? You just want a taste of the country, or do you want to get to know some people? Do you want to live there? Do you want to live there for a long time? Because, you know, for example, if you go to a country where you don't speak the language, then if you live there for a long time, you need to consider you're going to need to learn the language if you want a social life, if you want to meet people. Sure, some people speak English, but if most people don't speak English, then your life is going to be quite difficult without learning the language. So, of course, learning a language, as everyone knows, it's a big project. You know, it takes years of effort and dedication and hard work and practice. And so, to be honest, if I was, you know, when I was younger and I moved to Japan, I was ready to learn a new language. You know, it kind of, I mean, I didn't plan to, it just happened, but I was okay with it because I was still young and I had a long time in front of me. So putting the time and effort into learning a new language, well, I was okay with it. Today, I'm not really interested in, okay, that's not true. I'm interested in learning a new language to some degree, but not as much as I used to be. It's so much work that I want to do it for fun. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to learn a whole language only because I need it. So I've had an interest in learning Spanish for a very long time. Ever since I went to Mexico, I've had an interest in learning Spanish, and specifically Spanish because, you know, English, I speak English, and English is the most widely used language. It's not the most, I think Chinese is probably spoken by more people, but, you know, the most widely and probably most useful language to learn would be English. You know, so many countries, even if even if most people don't speak English, everybody knows a little bit of English, right? So if you speak English, you can get by with a lot of things in nearly every country, really. If you don't speak English, it's going to be much more difficult to do a lot of travel and to really get by as easily. So I speak English. It's very useful. It's very convenient, and I'm glad for that. I also speak French, which is also very common. I don't know how many countries speak French today, but I know, it's not just France, right? You have France and several countries in Africa have French. And where else? I know Vietnam, they used to have French. A lot of people used to speak French years and years ago. Not today so much, but many years ago, many people spoke French here. So I'm not really sure, but anyway, I don't need to learn French. I already speak it. So there's that. And I also speak some Japanese, which is useful in Japan and nowhere else. But I lived in Japan, so I learned it. And I always thought, Japanese was kind of a cool sounding language when I watched ninja movies when I was a kid. Ninja movies, and then you had guys speaking Japanese, and it just sounded like a cool language. So when I went to Japan and I wanted to stay longer, I thought, yeah, let's learn the language. I mean, it didn't really seem that difficult, to be honest. The difficult part about Japanese is reading it and writing, of course, reading and writing. But the listening and the speaking and the grammar is really not that difficult. And in some ways, it's quite easy. But so anyway, so now I've got French, English, French, and Japanese. I think Spanish would be extremely useful to know because all of South America, except Brazil, of course, but so nearly all of South America speaks Spanish. All of Central America, several islands. There's a lot of Spanish-speaking countries that I'd like to visit. So I think Spanish would be a very useful language to know. It's practical, just as a traveler, if you spend any time south of the United States, it's a very useful language to know. So I'd be interested in learning Spanish as a hobby, and I think it would be fairly easy to learn for me because a lot of words in Spanish, are very similar to French words or English words. So if I speak English and French, then learning Spanish shouldn't be that difficult, right? So I think it would be easy enough to learn. It would, I'd be very useful. So yeah, I'd probably learn Spanish. But, a language, for example, like Vietnamese is very, very difficult for me. Maybe some people find it easier, but I find Vietnamese very difficult because of the pronunciation. My ability to hear and reproduce the sounds, I don't have, my skills are not good for that. So I would need to do a lot of work to be able to master Vietnamese. So that's just to go back to your question, how, which country is the best? If I stayed in Vietnam for many, many years, then I'd have to put in a lot of work into learning the language, or I would have to accept that I will never really be part of society very much because I don't speak Vietnamese. So it depends. What are you comfortable with, right? So if you're comfortable not speaking the language and not understanding anything, and you're comfortable with that for many years, then that opens up your opportunities for countries to go live in, right? So to try to answer your question, right? I don't really have a favorite. I try as much as possible to look for, I try to look for the good, right? What is interesting? And I try to ignore or stay away from the bad. Why, and every country has something good. Every country has something bad, right? So the question is, can you get away from the bad? And if you can, then focus on the good. And if you do that, every country has some good. So I've enjoyed visiting all of the countries I've visited. And that's proven by the fact that I have been back to these countries more than once, right? Like I said, I've been to Philippines more than once. I've been to Indonesia more than once. I've been to Malaysia more than once. I've been to Thailand more than once. I've been to Vietnam more than once. I've been to all of these countries more than once because they've all been enjoyable. And so I can't say that I have a favorite. And I think, if I go somewhere to visit for a few days or a few weeks, then everything is open to me. I don't care. The only time I would pick one country over another, and that's not because it's better, because I think each one is different and can't be compared directly, but that's simply depending on you. What do you want? Do you want to live there for a long time? Do you want to learn the language? Is it hard to learn the language? Do you want to put in the effort to learn the language? Do you like the food, right? Is the food something that you enjoy in general? The good thing about food is no matter where you go, you can usually find something. You can usually find the foods that you like. Like even here in Vietnam, I can find easily. I mean, there's a ton of places, burger places, pizza places, pizza restaurants, burger restaurants. I can find steak. I can find Japanese food. I can find shawarmas. I can find all kinds of food, even here in Da Nang, which is a much smaller city than Ho Chi Minh. In Ho Chi Minh, you can find anything you want. So whatever food you like, you can find it. It won't always be cheap, but you can find it. French food, Mexican food, it's all there. You get more choice in a big city, but that's everywhere. Food is not really so limiting. So really, it just depends on your mood and what you want. If you're traveling for a short time or a long time. But for me, I like to travel to discover. So maybe that's the best way to express it. I like the discovery aspect of travel. When I go to a new place, it's discovering new things that excites me, right? Meeting new people, discovering new things, and tasting new foods. Those are the things that excite me the most. And by definition, it's new. So it's always interesting. It's always fun. That's my thinking about travel. Of course, sometimes I just want to go somewhere to the beach and relax, and that's all I want to do. But in that case, it doesn't matter where you go. As long as there's a beach, if that's all you want for a few days, then there are many places that have that. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a super long answer to a very simple question. I apologize. But this is good listening practice, right? Is it? Am I speaking too quickly or too slowly, or is it just right? Just right. Let me catch up on some comments here. I think I've missed a lot of comments. Ali, how many years did you live in Japan? I lived in Japan for 20 years. From 1996 to 2016, I lived in Japan. And then in 2016, I went to Canada for almost a year. And then I started, not quite a year, like eight or 9 months, October, hang on, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So 7 months I was in Canada. So was I living in Canada or was I living in Japan, but traveling to Canada? I don't know. But I consider 2016 is when I really kind of stopped living in Japan. And I went to Canada for a few months to spend some time with my father. And then after that, I kind of just started traveling for a bit. I went, I traveled for a bit, and then I went back to Canada because my father's health had declined quite a lot. So in 2018, in 2018, I moved back to Canada, and I stayed there for a little over a year. And I got a job there. I worked as a web developer. And then after that, I started traveling. And then that's when I started my other channel, Seriously Silly, because I'm Sil and I'm silly. So, so that's how I came up with that name. And I've been traveling since 2019. So almost, not quite 2 years now. I've been traveling. Well, this past year, I haven't really been traveling. This past year, I've been, stationed here in Vietnam because coronavirus prevented, all travel. So I've just been staying here for the duration. But this is a great place to be stuck, right? That's I got to move out of the maps right here. Hang on. Yeah, so Da Nang has a great beach. I'm pointing to the beach, by the way. It has a great beach over there, and the weather is super nice between March-ish. In January was chilly, January and February, mainly January, was pretty chilly. February started to warm up a little bit. And then from, around end of February, March, I think, the weather got really nice, every day. And, there's almost no rain at all until about October, which is fantastic. And I mean, no rain. I mean, like every, 10 days or something. I don't know how they grow anything here during these, but there's no rain. It's amazing. Every day is hot and sunny. Maybe it rains when I'm sleeping. I don't know, but there's almost no rain. It's so easy to make plans here between, I think there's really not much rain in January either, January, February, but I think the real rainy season here in Da Nang is around October to January, February, but I don't know. Maybe my memory is not good. I don't remember much rain in January and in February, but it was chilly. It was a little cold. I needed a jacket. I needed a hoodie. Not a jacket, but a hoodie anyway. But anyhow, March to October, can't go wrong here, right? So, yeah, got the beach, great people. I got fantastic weather. It's amazing. This is a really good and super low cost of living. It's hard to do better than Da Nang for cost of living. My apartment that I'm in now, and if you go to this other channel, right there, Seriously Silly, if you go to that channel, I have videos of some of my apartments and Airbnbs that I've stayed in. This one that I'm in now is 4.5 million Vietnamese dong, which is about, it's less than $200 US. I think it's about 190-ish, 180, I don't know, somewhere around 180, 190 US dollars for an apartment. It's really, it's a studio with, there's kind of a wall. It's not really a necessary wall, but it kind of splits the bedroom and the kitchen. Yeah, I guess it's a one bedroom in that sense. You know, it's physically split by a wall, but the size of it is, I don't know, like 35, 40 square meters, maybe 35 square meters, something. Maybe 40. Anyway, I don't know. Anyhow, it's big enough. You know, it's not claustrophobic. It's not huge, but it's not claustrophobic. But it's $180 or 90, whatever. Let me check. Let me check. What was I checking? I'm getting old. 4.5 million Vietnamese dong to USD, 195 US dollars. CAD, 240 Canadian dollars. But how crazy is that? I mean, I have an apartment, my own apartment. It's not shared. When I was in Canada, I was literally paying 6 times this price for a shared apartment. Shared, 6 times this price. Believe it or not. Fouette, thank you for asking. My head. Can you know what? So they said, I wrote in the comments on that video, I think, but, or somewhere. Anyway, so they removed it and everything seems to be okay. So I've got, oh, I did get the results, by the way. The results were benign. Let me put the banner here. Benign. This is how you spell. Hang on. Benign. There we go. Boom. Can I show it? Yes, I can. So the actinic keratosis that was there. Let me see if I can show you. Kind of there. Can you see it? Anyway, so that's what's left after removing it. And it was benign. So benign means no cancer. So yay, no cancer. So I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, I was hoping that it wouldn't. I mean, you know, usually if you catch skin cancer early, it's, you know, it doesn't become a big problem from what I understand. So I was fairly confident that it wouldn't be a big issue anyway. Excuse me. But it's nice to know that there was no cancer to begin with, so nothing to worry about, which is great. So thank you for asking. Yes, it's all good. Hello, Rosie. Should I say Rosie or Mahamud? I'm not sure. Not sure which one I should use. I'm good, thank you. How are you? That's okay, we'll do more. I'm going to try to do more of these live chats because it's a good way to connect with my viewers. And, you know, one thing about watching videos is very good for listening and for learning new things. That's great. But when you're actually interacting with someone in real life and you're talking about real things, you're not just studying English, but you are using your English knowledge to listen to and to understand something, a different topic. It's not talking about learning English only, but talking about other things. It's so much better. So I think this is more helpful for people who want to use English, or at least listen to real English that is a little bit slower. And I try to keep my vocabulary and grammar more simple. So this is, I think, good for listening for some students who need it, who want to slow things down a little bit. So I like this interaction. And plus, I think it's cool to get to know some of you. That's awesome. I hope we can continue this. This is great. So my point was, I'm going to be doing more of these. So don't worry if you missed a few. You'll miss more probably, but that's okay. The ones you get are the ones that are important. Excuse me. Okay, so Turkish is the language. All right, I thought it was, but I didn't want to make any mistakes. So yes, the official language of Turkey is Turkish. I speak German, Turkish, and I have a smattering of English and Spanish and try to learn other languages as well, but it is not as easy as I thought. Yeah, it's hard. It takes a long time and it's a lot of effort. That is true. I agree. Mr. Sill, you don't have to say Mr. You can just say Sill, by the way. Just Sill, it's okay. Just one note, by the way. I'm gonna just mention this because I think a lot of people from other countries, other cultures, maybe in your culture, and I really don't know in Syria, how the language works, right? But in many other cultures, let me use Japanese as an example. So in Japanese, they attach the word san after somebody's name, right? Now, usually they'll use a person's last name to address them. That's almost always. But every once in a while, they will use the first name. So people in Japan called me Shiru, which is the Japanese pronunciation for Sill, and they would say Shiru-san or Shiru-chan, which is kind of a more familiar way, or kind of a more cute way of saying san. And so some people would say, Shiru-san, and it's just the way Japanese works, right? You add san and it shows respect. That's all it is. In English, however, when you say Mr. something, it goes with the last name. So yes, it's true, right? My last name is Primo. So if you said Mr. Primo, then yes, with no Mr. would be kind of strange, right? Because just calling me Primo would actually be disrespectful in most contexts. Not all, but in most contexts, just saying somebody's last name with no Mr. or Miss, I'm not even sure these days what we have. We have Mr., Mrs., Ms., Miss, Ms. I'm not sure if there's any others anymore, but anyway. So without that and the last name, yeah, it's not very respectful. But when you use someone's first name, then you don't need Mr. or Mrs. or whatever. So you can just say Sill. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because it may feel, if you come from a culture where it's normal to say a word that's, has kind of a similar meaning to Mr., and for you in your culture, that's normal, then when you're speaking English, you might feel a little bit strange not using it, right? You might feel, oh, I feel rude. I feel like I'm being impolite. But don't worry, you're not. If you use a first name, so if you meet someone, in a formal setting or for the first time, it's quite common to use Mr. whatever. It really depends on the situation, on the mood, on the context, on the person. But, and you know, I mean, in recent times, we are using first names more and more. So it's, you know, 25, 30 years ago, to address somebody without using Mr. would have been considered rude in more situations, right? You normally use Mr. and last name. Today, a lot of the time, we just jump to the first name immediately. We are developing into a very first name culture. And of course, if you are in a very formal situation, then stick with Mr., etc. But quite often, you know, it's okay to use the first name. And with the first name, we don't need the word Mr. And don't feel bad about that. You're not being rude. You're not being impolite. It's perfectly okay. Go ahead. If you use a first name, don't feel bad about not having that, what we call a salutation. Is it a salutation? No, it's a, did they call it a salutation? Salutation is like hello. But, anyway, a title, right? Like they'll call it a title, Mr., Mrs., Ms., Miss. So anyway, that's my little lesson on using Mr. And you don't need to use Mr., so don't worry about it. Okay, so Mr. So, I'll be over the moon if I join you in a live stream. When would you like? I'm ready. Now I'm at my grandma's house. I'll go back to my home at afternoon. Wow, okay, cool. Well, that would be awesome. But I see that I've been online now for almost 2 hours. So how about next time, Ali? Shall we do next time? Next time I catch you? I can only do this on my computer. So if I do my live stream on my phone, then we won't be able to. But soon, one day, when I'm doing a live stream on my computer, then yeah, let's do it. That would be great. Thank you. We can have a little chat. If you have any questions or something, maybe I'll just interview you. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies? That kind of thing. Rossi Rosa. Hello. Nice to meet you. Tony, hi, how you doing? Cool. Okay. I don't I don't speak enough Spanish to really practice. I need to learn some words. I can count, right? A little bit. I know a few words, taco, enchilada, but I can't speak. I can't form any real sentence except no habla español. No hablo? No hablo español. Is it? Yo hablo, yo habla. No, not habla. Habla is you, right? Anyway, see, I don't speak Spanish, and that's a problem. If you try to speak Spanish with me, you're going to be so frustrated. You're gonna be like, this guy doesn't speak Spanish. Go learn some Spanish and then come back. But you know what? Thank you. That's cool. Maybe I should take this opportunity to start studying Spanish more seriously, learn a bunch of words, and then practice with you on a live stream. Would you do that? Would you come on to a live stream so that we can chat in real time and I can practice my Spanish? That would be so cool. Let me know. See, I understand part of this. Hola, Tony. ¿Cómo está usted? Me he cantado. I don't know what that word means. Hola, estoy bien, gracias. Greetings to everyone. Mucho gusto. I know what that means. That means very good. Rosie. Good, Ollie. Here we go. You're speaking as so great and slow. Thank you. I'm glad to know that. Well, I've been back to Canada, so it's but I love traveling. I don't dislike Canada. Canada's fine. Canada's a great country, you know. A lot of good things there. But winter, Canadian winters, it's too cold. I can't stand cold. I can't handle the cold. I hate it. 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 So if I have any way to escape Canadian winters, I will. I can't. I don't want to live through Canadian winters, especially after living in Japan for 20 years. In Japan, I lived in Osaka, and yes, it gets chilly. It gets cold in winter, but not like Canada. I mean, the lowest temperature in Osaka typically is like 2-3 degrees at night in the wintertime, and maybe in the daytime would be like 6 or 7 or 8 degrees, and that's pretty typical winter weather in Osaka. Excuse me. Sometimes you go lower. Occasionally you would go below 0 at night, but it's not often. It's very rare. So after acclimatizing to that for such a long time, Canadian winters hit hard. And I've never liked the cold very much. My body gets cold easily. And after I started to shave my head, oh, it's a completely different world. My head like loses so much heat that I get cold so quickly if it's below, a certain temperature. No winters for me. I'd go visit for a couple of weeks, but I don't want to go through this endless winter. In Canada, in Toronto, it starts to get cold in October. Even September for me is a bit chilly, but it's okay. October starts to get cold, and you have this cold that drags out until May. It's crazy. In 2019, when I left Toronto, I was wearing like a jacket, like with it was thin. It was a very, very thin jacket, not a thick jacket. So it wasn't really adequate for deep winter, but it had down feathers in the jacket. Even if it's thin, it was down. So, and I was wearing that jacket in May, maybe even in June, I forget. But anyway, in May, this was crazy. So, yeah, Canada has like 8 months of winters for me. No, I have no desire to live through those winters anymore. So, at most, if I return to Canada, it's for summertime, for like spring, summer, fall, maybe. But for winters, I will always, if I can, I will always escape. I have to go now. Oh, Abdullah, thank you for joining, and thank you for helping me with figuring out StreamYard. You have a class. Oh, okay. Enjoy your class. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you again too. You too. Have a nice day. Bye. Sorry, maybe I was late. Ooh. I didn't see the message. Yeah, language is so weak. All my English is from my hard working. Schools are bad for English, and you know the results after the war. We hit rock bottom, we think. We say Mr. for more polite. Yeah, I understand why people say Mr. It's because they're thinking, you know, in their culture and in their language, it's normal. And it's hard to adjust to something different, especially if you feel, you know, you don't want to be rude, and it might feel rude, you know, to not say Mr. But don't worry. I just wanted you to know, don't worry. It's not rude. If you're using a first name, don't worry about Mr. If you're using a last name, use Mr. And you'll be fine, you know. So don't worry. No, your English is great. At least your written English. I haven't spoken with you, but your written English is great. You're doing well. Don't worry. Keep going. Yeah. So will it work with? Yes. For you, the way it will work, I'm going to send you a link, and this software will connect you to my chat. And yes, you can use your phone. I've tested it myself with my phone, and it worked, no problem. So you can use your phone, and I'm on my computer, and then I don't know if I can use this on my phone or not. I haven't tried, and I'm not sure if I can. I may try some time in the future, but at the moment I have no interest in trying, simply because there are so many things that it would be difficult for me to do on a small screen, you know, because I've got my screen, and then I have buttons, and then like adding somebody, and then I've got the messages. It's a lot of stuff. So I prefer to use my computer with a larger screen to be able to manage the live stream. So, but yeah, no worries. You can use your phone. Even without electricity, as long as your phone is charged. Okay, Tony, you have got a deal. Let's do it. I'm going to start studying Spanish. I have to learn some basics first. I have to learn some colors, what do I need? Like, usually we start with, you know, colors, days of the week, foods, basic adjectives, things like that. So I need to build up a small base of vocabulary and basic grammar, and just a little bit at a time. And then let's practice. You know, what's really cool about this is, I mean, for me, it's not English, it's Spanish. It's a different language. So it could also serve as motivation for people learning English. They'd be like, look, Syl's learning Spanish. Look how, you know, he's progressing. So that's motivating for me to learn English. Unless I don't progress. Then people will go, wow, Syl is really stupid. He can't learn anything. I'm joking, of course. I hope. But yeah, let's do it. I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you come back to some of my live streams. Ali, we feel the same way. And no interest in frozen landscapes. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. All right. So at this point, I think I'm going to have to end the live stream, because I can see that we have been online now. I have been online for 1 hour and 55 minutes, almost 2 hours. So it's time for me to go have lunch, relax my neck a little bit. Oh, I could always do this. Hey everyone, how you doing? How's that? Is that okay? You're like, this guy doesn't have a very good attitude. Hey everyone, how you doing? So, thank you to everyone who joined and participated in the conversation and sent me messages. And I'm looking forward to doing more and having live interactions. I mean like live voice interactions. We will get to hear you speak online. That's cool. And oh, hey, my channel, Slow Easy English, now has more than 60,000 subscribers. Yay! Over 60,000 subscribers now. So that's cool. Now, let's get it to 100. Let's get it to 100,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward to it's not growing very quickly, you know, it's kind of just, but someday, I'm not going to lose hope. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining, and I hope everyone has a good day. Yes, that's true. Yes, life is still going on outside. We all have to join it. I have to join it. You have to join it. See you, Ali. Thanks for joining. Tony, I think you wanted to say I don't know. I don't know what you wanted to say, but you are something. Thank you. Yay, 60,000. Hello, B. Bozek. I'm so sorry, B. Bozek. I'm just about to end the live stream. I'm so sorry, but I've been on for almost 2 hours now. So I hope you can join in the next one. Yeah, I apologize. It's just bad timing. But thanks for joining, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hi, Bourbonog, same thing. I'm really sorry, but I'm about to end this live chat. And I want to say thanks to everyone who joined, and those who came in recently. I hope you'll come back and see me on the next one. So there's the message, Tony. I'm glad I found your channel. Thank you. I'm glad you found it too. And yes, definitely we're going to speak Spanish, Espanol, in the future. Okay, folks, I'm going to stop here. Thanks for joining again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. How do I hang up here? Leave studio. Okay, bye.